Oh,
Yeah,
y'all know what time it is.
Black Lives
I'm
Matter.
somewhere in the neighborhood
Let's
of
talk
being on
about it.
time. You can't tell me I'm
Yeah,
not.
we can talk about the white privilege, but I ain't even trying to get into that. Can't say shit about the black oppression if you never had to experience that. They say make America great again, get the fuck out of here cause y'all know that it's whack. Let's not talk about how they whitewash black history and get to the facts. Out here living in the cold world, I'm just trying to stay alive in it. Out here
What
trying to
time
beat
it
a
is?
system that's trying to put all our lives on a time limit. Feel like I can't ever leave a crib till my waistband got a 9 in it. Crazy living in the burbs and I still don't feel safe not to ride with it. What you forgot when they torture, degraded, and call people niggas while whipping they back? What you forgot about lynching when people of color was forced to go sit in the back? What you forgot about Wall Street when they massacre people just cause they were black? Yeah, I know it's been 100 years and my peoples have never got justice for that. How the fuck would you feel every day feeling your life was under attack? Cops kill white same rate as black people, then tell
Get the
me how you
snack.
would react. Instead of trying to push a narrative, do some research and just look up the stats. All men were created equal, that's bullshit and y'all know that it's cat. Try listening to understand, then I promise we can all gather. But don't tell me that I'm racist just because I say black lives matter. You say black oppression ain't real just because you never learned about it. Come get all these smoke, buckle up, let's talk about it. Cut the bullshit, cut the cameras, sick and tired of the double standard.
Yeah,
Big corporations
yeah,
wanna pan
yeah,
just cause they don't
yeah,
wanna get the slander.
yeah.
We had enough and we want some answers, doing this one for the ancestors. I got the drive of the black mamba, fighting with the heart of the black panther. Stop listening to bullshit from Fox News on your big screen. Black on black crime, 13% of the population, yeah bitch please. What was that energy for these bitches trying to sleep with your kids under 16? Or these sick fucks that randomly slaughter people when the AR-15. They call us criminals when the whites do 69% of the crime. It ain't got shit to do with race. Goofy is called proximity crime. Bigger the city, the higher the poverty, you get a higher percent of the crime. It's the media keeping you blind. Stop being racist and get with the time. To all the white folks not racist, I got nothing against you. I ain't holding you responsible for no slave owning that you didn't do. Just understand that we traumatized from all the shit that we've been through. Hope one day the middle ground is all something we can get to. Try listening to understand, then I promise we can all gather. But don't tell me that I'm racist just because I say black lives matter. You say black oppression ain't real just because you never learned about it. Come get all these smoke, buckle up, let's talk
Let's
about
talk
it. To all
about
the
it.
soldiers and allies that joined the fight, I appreciate it. Fall of America came together, imagine how much better we can make it. When they signed a civil rights bill, when they couldn't separate us by race, then they found a way to divide us by your political affiliation. Every 4 years, same bullshit. Don't be the sucker to eat that. It's black folks who don't believe in racism just because they never seen that. Rest in peace, Jonathan Price. It took for him losing his life to see that. We want police reform and justice. How many times we gotta preach that? Fuck the high road. Call me a nigga, I'm beating your ass and I mean that. You say something, then stand on it. Don't be a bitch and delete that. Hey, Donald Trump, fuck your platinum plan. Your handouts, you can keep that. We just out here trying to live the same dream that Martin Luther King had. All black people not criminals. All white people not racist. Every black woman not hood. And every white woman not basic. Both sides gotta stop judging. Both sides gotta stop hating. If we don't come together right now, 4 years we will not make it. If we don't come together right now, 4 years we will not make it.
Y'all hear him? Come get all the smoke. Buckle up. Let's talk about it. It's one of my favorite songs. That's one of my favorite songs, if not my second or third favorite song by Young Merc. That was Young Merc Fire opening up my show. I am T. Nathan, and it is sometime after 10 o'clock, before 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. So we are on time. We are on time. Thank you, whatever that was. Somebody just did something. Thank you. Thank you. But we are on time. No matter what anybody else says, get all this smoke. Buckle up. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Conversations with T. Nathan. Hope all of you all are well. Hope all of you all are fine. Hope all of you all are better off on this week, going into this weekend, than you were on last weekend. And if you're not, get there. Get there. That's the motive for this week, getting it. Of course, after this tonight, bootleg movie night 3000 with T. Nathan will commence. We're going to watch another Kristen Nolan movie, and if you last week we watched Tenon by Kristen Nolan. This week we have another time trippy, memory trippy movie by Christopher. Oh, Christopher. So, how are you doing? Oh man, is that Robert and my nephew? See, I was beginning to think Robert and my nephew were the same person because I didn't see them in the same place at the same time. But now I guess I have to say that nephew's not trying to trick me with a Robert personality. Yeah, I thought my nephew had a new persona because I hadn't seen him and Robert in the room at the same time. But I'm gonna let it pass. I'm gonna assume they're different people now. How you doing, nephew? How you doing, Robert? How you doing, Rain? How you doing, Petra? How you doing, everybody else who's joined us? Um, Chief of Security is not gonna be here tonight. He said he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't feeling well. So, nephew, you got it for a little while. Are you home? They're on two different devices. No, but I think they're two different people. I'm thinking they're two different people now, Petra. I think I'm still got this 1%, but I'm 99%. They're two different people. You at work? I hi, no problem. Um, think I got it. Let's see. I am here. Let's see if I'm here. Oh, I'm here. I got it. Oh, y'all in trouble tonight. I got one. Yeah, he at work. Yeah, ain't nothing to stop me from ripping you. Um, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Y'all know I'm up to something, right? I'm being so generous and nice with the. Y'all know I'm up to something. Oh, and top of the news. And it's not the John Wick. We're going to get to John Wick in just a moment. But top of the news for me is that in the New York case of Daniel Penny, the man who murdered Jordan Neely, putting him in a chokehold on the subway car in May of 2023. Today, the top charge was thrown out because jury couldn't come to couldn't come to a conclusion on it. So the top charge was manslaughter in the second degree, and to have get manslaughter in the second degree, they had to say they believed he was reckless and his um, putting a chokehold. Nothing reckless about putting a mentally disturbed man in a chokehold on a subway system. Nothing reckless about that to see, right? But the jury had been deliberating since Tuesday, and they told them today that they were deadlocked on the first. And the judge in the jury description instructions, they had to decide on the first charge of manslaughter in the second degree before they could move on to the lesser charge of criminal negligence. So they didn't. They tossed out the first charge that carried 15 years. So Daniel Penny, no matter what happens, will not be found guilty of manslaughter in the second degree that carried a 15-year sentence. He will not be serving anything like 15 years, no matter what happens in deliberation going into Monday. Because with the top charge being gone, all that's left is reckless and is criminal negligent homicide or criminal negligence, and that his action was negligent. And that only carries a maximum of 4 years in prison. 4 years max. And it said a lot to me when it tells me that there are some people in that jury room that wanted to find him guilty of manslaughter, but it was not a unanimous decision. And from the way it read, when I looked at it and listened, there was no way they were going to come to a unanimous decision finding him guilty of manslaughter in the second degree. Now, having said that, I wonder how many holdouts there were. Because if there were enough holdouts, we might see a conviction for the lesser charge. I'm not holding out any. I'm not holding out any hope for that because at the end of the day, you all know how I feel about jury trials after people are dead at the hands of a system that has been killing them. And I don't believe that's justice. I don't believe in justice for dead people. Dead people get no justice because they still dead. They don't get to be brought back. Jordan Neely exercised his right to recklessly put a man in a chokehold that knowingly kills. There is no chokehold that doesn't kill people. As someone who studied martial arts, and I will tell you, there is no chokehold that if I keep it on you long enough will not result in your death. There is none. There is not a partial chokehold that only partially cuts off your oxygen to your brain, and you can live through it if I apply it long enough. So that it's just strange to me that we're even having this conversation. Jordan Neely was not innocent by any stretch of the imagination, because and then you have people say, "Well, he was saying this and he said that." Do you all kill everybody who says I could take these off, right? I could take these off. Do you all kill everybody just because they say something? Because that's the case, then a lot of people on the subway systems should be put in chokeholds. They say he was mad, he threw his jacket down. Or, and then they went to where he had a criminal history of violence. At that moment, who on that bus, on that subway system, knew anything about Jordan Neely's criminal history that put him in a chokehold? Daniel Penny didn't know that. And he had also had just as many times as having outbursts like that and not doing anything. But the point of the matter is that he was unarmed and he didn't put his hands on anyone. The family has also filed suit at this time, a civil suit against Daniel Penny. And if you know, and I have talked about it before, and this is the dichotomy of being TNathan, is because I can be passionate about the aspect that Jordan Neely should be alive, and could also be passionate about itself that his family is a bunch of bullshit. And I understand people say it's hard to deal with people with mental illnesses, but this man was homeless. This man was living in the street and he had family. And as someone that has had family members that have had mental issues, that I never let them, and I feel the same way about, there was this young lady in North Carolina and she was pregnant and homeless. And I just couldn't conceive I just couldn't conceive the idea of my daughter being pregnant and homeless. A television, because she stole a television out the house the last time I let her live there. No, I can't. I have had personal, I have had relatives, friends even, that I didn't give up on because they stole something out the house. And then I was like, I'm through with you over a television. Look, I had some shoes, and if you got to be an old head to understand, I had some Jordan ones, right? And my cousin stole them. Stole them, and I was in the game at the time these shoes got stolen. And it was never an idea of putting the value of the shoes against my cousin's life. I know, I don't. I know it's not everybody, but the idea that Jordan Neely's family had basically turned their back on him, and to understand that Jordan Neely had gone through trauma because he had lost his mother. He had lost his mother. His father had strangled his mother. So yeah, there's a lot of leadway there. I'm sorry, but the family has filed a lawsuit. His uncle was jumping up and down on television today, and I intentionally turned the channel. So I can hold those two thoughts in my head at the same time. Jordan Neely should be alive, and I don't like the idea of his family profiting off of his death, especially when they didn't do anything to protect him when they could. I, I just feel some kind of way about that. I feel I have a GoFundMe, and I feel kind of way about advertising the GoFundMe to go to Selma next year. So I definitely have a problem with a family like Jordan Neely's family. This is not a family that was there. And I've had people push back on me and say you don't understand how hard it is to deal with somebody with mental illness and drug problems. And I look at them like, why do you make that assumption? Why do you make that assumption? Because that's the assumption you need to feel your comfort in. Because I know many people who do. Uh, I know many people who do. I know people who, if it wasn't for their mother or father standing by them, that they would be dead now. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So, yes, it's not easy. It's not easy. So, it is what it is. And I'm not talking, I'm talking about this for his family to know that his mother was the victim of violence and know that he saw this at an impressionable age. Yes, there are allowances you have to make for a child witnessing the death of his mother. They're just allowances you have to make. And I know everybody's not strong enough to make those allowances, but you should be strong enough to find them somebody who is. You should find him somebody who is. Because in this day and age, he was most like, right, Rain? I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around the idea of watching my father kill my mother and not knowing how traumatizing that would have been at that age and not having anybody to invest enough to help me transcend it. And then when I am homeless and I die and something happens to me, here you are now, how much you loved me and ready to profit off my death. Yeah, no, it's just something that doesn't sit right in my spirit with that. So, um, and people say I haven't walked a mile in their shoes. I know, but I walked miles in my own, and I just know. And maybe it's because I come from a family that, yeah, me and my brother are strained, but I wouldn't. I, me and my brother are strained, and I'm a villain. And I'm the villain that, yeah, I would hurt him. I would throw him into an active volcano, but I wouldn't let anybody else throw him into an active volcano. And that's the complications of family and friends with me. Because my family and my friends are the same. If you're truly a friend, you're part of my family, and you're probably even closer than my blood relatives. But when I extend that to you, and this is my brother, yeah, I would literally throw him into a volcano on any given day. But you talk about you're going to throw him into a volcano, and we're not going. We're not going to have that. I don't know if y'all were, but we were the type of people growing up that if you see two brothers fighting, you don't need to pick a side because that's going to get you in trouble. If you see me and my brother fighting, your thing is to wait because I ain't gonna kill him. I probably it's a 90% chance that that day I won't kill him, and if the 10% chance on that day I probably I'd probably just throw him in traffic or something. Yeah, but don't pick a side. I don't ask anybody to ever pick a side between my brother and I. I don't. I do not because that only makes me stop having to fight him for a while and beat you up. Yeah, just makes me have to beat you up. Even if you pick my side, you say, TNathan, yeah, you're dead right, and all that. As long as we're not fighting, you just saying it, you good. But if we're fighting and you say it, I didn't ask for any help or an amen corner. So when you talk to me about watching people that say they care about somebody turn their back, not to say that there's not a such thing as tough love. Not to say that at all that there's not. But this young man was homeless after years of dealing with the trauma of losing his mother to his father. So yeah, we have to make special allowances for that. We have to make special allowances for that. So that's what's transpiring. The jury will be back in session on Monday to consider the lesser charge because the top charge has now been thrown out. There is no chance that Daniel Penny will be found guilty of manslaughter in the second. And we're just going to get to the um, recklessness of the lesser included charge that carries a maximum of 4 years. And even if he is found guilty, I don't see him getting 4 years because they're going to make him out to be the white choir boy in the room. And we're not going to get into how a 26-year-old Marine is retired. Just going to speed past that one. 26-year-old Marine. Did I say 26 years old? He was Jordan Neely was 30, and Daniel Penny is 26. So that, and then it was like they had. I was listening to people who testified. I read the transcripts and I listened to them do interviews because there were two other men that were holding Jordan Neely down, and they happened to be men of color. And if you know me, you know I don't mean just black men. I mean men of color, and they were holding Jordan Neely down, and they testified as to what they were doing. Now, one guy, and I had talked about this before, one guy wasn't holding him down for Daniel Neely to continue to choke him. He had came up and said, "Hey, I'll help you hold him down until the police get here, and you can let him go." And Daniel Penny didn't let him go. He persisted. He kept the chokehold on, even when the other guy was standing there telling him, "I'm here to assist you so you don't have to choke him out." So, if you don't really follow these cases and you just look at images and don't know what's going on, please don't proceed to try to tell me what was going on when you can't even tell me Gonzalez's name or the fact that the original 6 minute tapes that we watched, that just like George Floyd, was from a journalist, that have a freelance journalist was taping it. But that is the reality of that situation. So keep that in mind. And I'm not absolving people because it should have got to a point where somebody should have taken physical action on behalf of Jordan Neely. Um, he should have. It's like, and I was listening to a comment Petra made when we were talking about how we are watching the desensitization of people, not just towards just the apathy, just apathy in the face of moral interpretude. Like I say, this man is sitting here being choked out. This man has fully wrapped his knees or his legs around this man's body and has been maintaining the chokehold for over 4 minutes at that time. How long? I want you to hold your breath and tell me when it starts to hurt. And then they were like, and then people don't, and I guess people don't realize what asphyxiation is and what it means when the brain is deprived of oxygen for long periods of time. The brain will die before you stop breathing, because they were talking about where they came up when the EMS got there, and they were taking he had a pulse, and so they saying, well, he didn't die from the chokehold. What? Yeah, he was brain dead. Just because he had a pulse doesn't mean he had brain activity. I'm not saying the South is perfect, but events like that, I've noticed people will separate. Yeah. Well, I also know New York has a very not my problem mentality. What's up, Misty? I don't, hmm, not my problem mentality. Works both ways, I guess. And I have been to New York. I have stayed in New York. My complaint about New York is that it's like rats in a barrel. Like so many people in such a small area. People don't realize that the New York is a 12 square mile, 12 by 12 square mile island with the largest density of population in the United States in it. Um, and I do find New Yorkers are more hands offish when it comes to certain things, but it's the humanity of watching somebody choke the life out of somebody that I haven't noticed as a byproduct of New York. Yeah, they might walk over you if you homeless. They might walk over you if you're still alive and bleeding out. But to just think about it. And I put this on the fact that this is what I noticed. That if it was a white person, it would have been an intervention. It was the idea that Daniel Neely was a white man choking out a black man that is so typical of the kind of response we see. That's why I don't feel anything for the death of a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company that had denied insurance claims on a regular basis. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel nothing. But to see an unarmed black man that hadn't put his hands on anyone be choked out, and the people that were there at the time chose to do nothing. The last of humanity is absolutely it, and yes, the racism. Yo, no, I didn't think you were pushing back, Omelet. Not at all. I was addressing. You just made me think of a bigger picture. It wasn't that I was um, pushing back against you. It was just that you made me realize I was going to go. I want to go into more depth of why I feel the way I do and the imagery that we have. So no, it was not a pushback at all. It was just a. And I hate the word. I hate the word triggered because people use it in such an incorrect way. But you just triggered a thought in my mind that I wanted to expound upon because on social media, triggered and safe space are the most overused words I've and ever hear. And so that's what's transpiring in the top of the news for me. And I will, like I say, Monday back into deliberations, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which would be 9 o'clock Central Standard Time for me. And of course, since I don't sleep, since I don't sleep, and when I do sleep, I sleep with implants. Or Petra is texting me. I was like, what? I was like, why do people think I sleep? I have to answer texts from Petra and other people. But I will be covering that also. I don't know if I told you last night, but Sean Grayson will not be getting out of jail this Friday like he thought he was. And Sean Grayson is the Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy that murdered Sonia Massey in July. He was scheduled to get out of jail today. He was just scheduled to go back to trial today and get the conditions of his release, because the appellate court sent back down and told the circuit court that they couldn't hold him on pretrial confinement. They had to release him. Now, Sean Grayson also is alleged to have colon cancer, and he's supposed to wear a colostomy bag, and he's also on medications for the treatment of his cancer. And that means I don't understand why the hell he was in the field in the first place. But I digress because that's the reason they're using that he shouldn't be in pretrial confinement because he should be out to get the medical care he needs, which I find funny as somebody who's been to prison that nobody cared about any medical services I needed or anybody else needed and was like, we're going to let you out. There were cases where I watched people get out because they were 78 years old and dying, and the federal government didn't want to foot the bill for their medical care, and they were dying. But pre-trial, I haven't seen that. So that's the argument. I was like, well, if you have colon cancer, maybe you shouldn't be out here murdering people. Maybe you shouldn't be out here murdering people, and you won't have to worry about the treatment you receive in prison not being up to the A1 treatment you're used to on the outside for colon cancer. So, yeah, I have no. But he will not be out of jail today because the court, they appealed to the Supreme Court of Illinois, and the appeals court gave the 35 days for the Supreme Court to. Now, if the Supreme Court of Illinois does not intervene, then in 35 days we'll put sometime around January the 25th. Then he will be released and on conditions that they outline. So that's what happened. That's what's happening in that case. I was jobless and homeless once. I was treated by family like I had a disease. Worst feeling. Yeah. Oh, and to the CEO shooting, I'm gonna read that after because I'm gonna talk. Well, I'm gonna read it now because that's a good segue. Without hope, vengeance will do. Let me tell you something. When people quotes like that, when I especially Greek and Roman quotes, and I just love them because the tie-ins are so perfect, especially when you know the true understanding of the phrase, and that fits so succinctly, right? The conditions need to be 6 feet under. Uh, Petra, you know me, a swamp will do, or a trunk. But anyway, a trunk. But we just got to remember, T. Nathan, just got to make sure you go and dump the body out the trunk and just not because you hate to drive and don't feel like driving to New Orleans until 3 days later. Maybe you wouldn't have a sealed juvenile record, huh? My copay didn't allow me to drive at that time. My copay didn't allow me to drive my best friend's abuser to the swamp at that time, right? Yeah. But and I remember that's a conversation for another day. We have to do that on a friends only basis because if you don't know me well, you might be thinking I'm a monster. But anyway, um, so getting back to John Wick. So John Wick, did you all not hear me say the first night that we found out about this and they hadn't captured him? What did I say? I said that man is not in New York. I said, I said, this man, this was too. And then when I told you about the gun he had used and everything, and people were like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about." Well, listen, the man, the New York police commissioner came out and said, "What today? Dude's not in New York. Yeah, he's not here. He's not here. I'll be joining. I will be joining movie night. All right, Robert. I watched a news clip where they kept saying he made so many mistakes. And you remember I said, Rain? I told you. They said a gun jam. No, the gun he was firing was intended. It didn't chamber rounds. He had to manually chamber rounds because that gun that he used is most often used in veterinarian care, right? And when you looked at that gun and the way the suppressor was on it, I was like, that is the same. That gun and suppressor were made to go together, and that's what be so funny to me, right? Because I will say all these things, and people are like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," and then when they come out, they disappear. They're not. Look, look. You know, you watch movies and you be watching the villain escape on all these elaborate ways. This is something I will be studying this man, right? Because he took an e-bike. First, he gets on an e-bike in New York. Who looks at e-bikes these days? Even though they got trackers in them, nobody's noticing you in New York if you're on an e-bike. They're literally everywhere. He took an e-bike to a taxi. Do you know how common taxis are in New York? He took an e-bike to a taxi to a train to a bus terminal. He didn't go to the airport. He hadn't have no elaborate underground hideout in Central Park. This man took an e-bike to a taxi to a bus terminal and somehow managed to be. I'm telling you, before they even started the investigation properly into the death of this CEO, John Wick was out of New York. He was out of the city. Yeah, you might find him held up in on Staten Island somewhere, but John Wick had left the building. The gun and suppressor were cheaper than omelet. You win that one, okay? Because what I would say back to that would get my life bad, but cheaper than a monthly premium. They look, and they were in system. They were in cost system. You can get away with a lot on a Greyhound bus. Look. You can't make me at this point. You can't make me believe anything that John Wick did was not calculated. And I told Petra, I said either it's all calculated or they're gonna find John Wick and he's gonna have a terminal illness. And he was like, "I'm dying anyway, so I don't care what you do. What you do? What you want me to go to jail? I'm telling you, he either gonna have a terminal illness or they just gonna arrest somebody. Somebody about to catch a bad one out there. Somebody about to catch a bad one. You all remember the Centennial Park bombing that took place during the Atlanta Olympics? That poor guy. They went and arrested somebody with basically pre-Down syndrome and tried to stick the crime on him, right? And I was like, I remember when they made the arrest. This boy didn't plant no boom boom anywhere in Atlanta, much less in Olympic Park. But they stuck with him for a while. Yeah, but everything gets a return. But in all seriousness, CEO caused more pain and suffering than most. It wasn't justice. Let me tell you this, right? And you saw Blue Cross Blue Shield. Send Nathan my text I sent you. You better not call. I know you didn't just call me Nathan. I know Robert didn't just call me Nathan. All right, I'm a Nathan. All right, make me act like my namesake. Make me act like Nathan. Nathan as in Nat Turner. Yeah. Make me act that. I'm telling you, the T, you put the T on Nathan because that's like putting the bracelets on Wonder Woman. People don't want to understand. They think because the bracelets are bulletproof that that she can't. But the bracelets are meant to confine Wonder Woman because when she takes them off, she is more enraged and has more strength, and she's stronger without them. The bracelets are to protect other people from her strength. So you take the T off by Nathan. That just means when it comes out, I don't want to hear it. I'll be like, you took the bracelet, you took the T off, and now it's not T Nathan, it's Nathan, my father, who we get our name from Nat Turner. The scene in Starship Troopers, it's scared that right. I have Blue Cross for my insurance. Well, you good. Blue Cross, look, Blue Cross Blue Shield is not playing. Their CEO is a woman, and she was like, "Ain't no, I ain't putting nope. We who look? They looking for a fall guy right now at Blue Cross Blue Shield. Like, who suggested that we not pay for anesthesia for an entire? Who? We need to give them somebody before they start looking at me like I did had something to do with it. We need a scapegoat. You're gonna watch in the next couple of days. You're gonna see a scapegoat. Well, this was a lower management decision, or this was a mid management decision. It's gonna be anybody but the CEO's decision. It's gonna be the COO. It's gonna be the CFO. Somebody, a memo that got circulated around. It's gonna be somebody's fault that is not the CEO of of the company. Um, I got that union's insurance. I don't pay shit. And you're deduct, and then this is what gets me. You're laughing, but they offering a $10,000 reward. It doesn't even cover the deductible from being beat up by John Wick. That will not cover the deductible by getting beat up by John Wick. You want listen. You all are offering $10,000 reward for somebody that the New York Police Department couldn't find in 2 days. You're offering a $10,000 reward for somebody in the city with the most cameras I have ever seen. Number one, everybody in New York got a personal camera, and there are cameras literally everywhere in New York. Y'all can thank Rudy Giuliani for that. But there are cameras everywhere, and you can't find a man that in broad daylight in slow motion. this was not this was not a semi-auto. Listen, this man did not use a semi-automatic weapon. This man did not break stride, heading, whatever you say. They said a gun jam. But I'm gonna tell you something. He did not. He did not stop. He chambered another round and kept going. Chambered another round and kept going. So you mean to tell me that's who you want me to turn in for $10,000? Are you out your goddamn rabbit ass mind? Are you out your rabbit ass mind, like my grandmother used to say? my, yeah, you all right? Y'all, we done had how many John Wick movies we done had? Three. We done had three John Wick movies, right? Everybody that John Wick has made it through all three movies. You know who hasn't made it through all three movies? Three separate sets of bad guys. Yeah, yeah. So look, you you don't. I don't want to mess with John Wick in that situation, and you don't want to mess with me if you try to hurt Bella. Those I consider that same kind of situation. You hurt Bella, I'm coming after you and everybody between me and you. So I'm leaving John Wick alone. Yeah. Yes. look, look. If anything, I'll be like, listen. And I keep bringing this up, and I keep saying these things. There was a whole ass witness up against the wall. Like I say, this wasn't an automatic weapon. There's a whole ass witness up against the wall. This man had walked around all morning, all morning waiting for this guy. Yeah, and you want to talk about $10,000 for anyone with information, and then you know the money doesn't, and they're not even gonna pay you your money until after a conviction or a sentence or something like that. Yeah, no, hell no. They never saw John Wick. We need a binge night of John Wick. Look, we got a minute and a half video of John Wick. It's making the rounds right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'll put that on the schedule. I definitely will put John Wick on the schedule, and we'll call it United Healthcare Night. We call it the United Healthcare Weekend Binge-a-thon. Yeah, we got to start early if we do. listen, listen, listen. We will. We'll call. I'm gonna let. It's usually Bootleg Movie Theater 3000 with TNathan. It's gonna be the United Healthcare John Wick sponsor. I mean, it's gonna be John Wick Bingeathon sponsored by United Healthcare. Yep, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. So stay tuned. Uh, but tonight we do have Bootleg Movie Theater 3000 with T Nathan, and we're going to be on Twitch, and we're going to start in approximately 17 minutes. 17 minutes. What's up, GCPR? We got about 17 more minutes, but we're going to cover a couple of more things. I see that the proposals I put out, and it's just like this is. How do I say this and not come off as rude? People need to stop sending me videos about stuff I talk about before they send me the video. It makes me feel like people will send me videos like the TikTok ban. I talked about every stage of the TikTok ban and what would happen before it happened. And today people are sending me videos of white people talking about it in the terms that I've already talked about it. I already talked about the stage of the appellate court division that it went through today. I always said what was happening. I already talked about the congressional act that Congress passed that I said they were going to use to justify them doing this and violating free speech of citizens and all that. I already talked about that. I said that this court case was going to the Supreme Court, and I said that either the Supreme Court is going to choose to review it or they're not. And at the end of the day, it still won't matter. I also say that if you still want TikTok, you'll still be able to use it. People are listening to me right now on a VPN in different countries that actually have banned free radio. But if you got a VPN, you can listen. There's not a switch that the United States government is going to go to and turn TikTok off in the United States. What they're going to do is ban it from, um, they can ban it from American companies that are in the Play Store, Google Play Store, Apple Play Store. But even updates, you could just log in. TikTok can come up with a whole site that you can log in and download updates to. So it's a bunch. I swear I've never missing with people again if they ain't a person. No. Yeah, I talked with T before the live. He is a late warning. Speaking of, you just moved to Insta. Yes, I'm on Instagram. I'm on all platforms. I'm on all platforms except I don't put content on X anymore. That doesn't mean I won't return to X. But right now, I just don't feel X will have me stalking people. Yeah, yeah. X has turned into a cesspool of far right extremism, and I don't have enough far right. I don't have enough people who are from the intolerant left joining me in places. I just see a lot of people laying down, and I just yeah. And that's the other segue for the night that I want to end on. What I try to create. I joined GCPR because I wanted to create a counter to far right wing media that we have had since Rush Limbaugh. And while people run around here saying we need to have a Joe Rogan, and I want to know something. Because I told you, I'm not for part of the far left. I'm part of the intolerant. If you want to call it left, you can. I'm intolerant in the faces that people want to lie down in. But there are not enough of us. What is it going to take? What is it going to take to get people that are the ones who are the most impacted by the tactics and policies of the far right to realize they need to listen? What is it going to take? What is it going to take to stop you all from acting so passive? What is it going to take for you all, in the words of Jasmine Crockett, to stop taking butter knives to real white knife fights? What is it going to take? Because I get on here and I talk and I do these things. I show you. I'm not just a talker. Anybody who knows me tells you that this hour you all get from me a night or so much, or on Saturday some, because I don't do 12 hours a day on TikTok or any social media. But you get the time that I am really talking about what we need to do and what I am doing. I'm not asking anybody to do anything that I'm not doing. So I'm wondering, what is it going to take for you all to realize that the actions that needed, while you all talking about what you all need to do, people like me are telling you what you need to do every day. But these are not the people you listen to. What is it going to? What do I need to do more? What do I need to show more of to get people to do what we need to do? How many times? I mean, South Korea. Come on, y'all. We being outdone by South Korea, and we call ourselves the left or progressives or visionary activists or advocates. South Koreans are out here firing bottle rockets at police. They're using Roman candles as weapons. What are we doing? Little do they know, all of us are diehard green. I told you, I have left I was in a phase of just being trying to be an anti-hero. I've left that phase. I am embracing the full weight of Victor Von Doom or or Magnus, either one, or most likely Revelations. But you get the picture. It's but what is it going to take? I'm asking for a friend, and I'm sure Little T is over here somewhere. Yeah, he's out of arm reach though. That's why I love it when you call them Grand Wizards. Yeah, because that's when John Wick dumped that CEO. Georgia for the win also. They're using fireworks. Right, Georgia too. These people are taking to the street and they're pulling what I call a Marilyn Monroe. People talk about Marilyn Monroe and talk about, oh, she was bubblehead, she was this. Marilyn was rich. Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jean, used what she had to get what she wanted. She didn't complain about what she had. She knew how to use it and get what she wanted. So when I look at people talk about they're down for the revolution, they're down for the cause, and then they sit there and complain about a system that they have the ability to at least cause some collateral damage to, and they do nothing. Anybody? So I'm asking. I'm not making an assumption anymore. I'm asking. What do I need to do? What do people like me need to do? Because if I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna do, And people that know me, people that know me and that I ride with also feel the wrath. People that if you're looking for a softer, gentler person to beg you, plead you into the fight, yeah, I'm not that person. And you're not going to ever, anybody who becomes that person for you, you need to be weary of them. I'm already there, omelet. I'm there. What, and I'm not talking about like right now, tonight. I'm talking about what is the process where we start acting. Because I'm not taking 12 of you all to death. I'm not taking 12 people in the face of that's not I'm strategic and I'm to tactical. Like I say, you can, and I'm not telling you things about me that other people won't tell you about me. People will tell you. Even the people that don't like me will tell me, yeah, he's manipulative. Yes, I am manipulative to get what we for us. I'm not out here manipulating people because I need something. I'm manipulative for us. I am tactical. I plan. I plan short term. I plan long term. I do all that. I can tell you what is about to happen, and I will watch people still. And that's why I say, oh, Omelet, you should like this one. I feel like Cassandra. I feel like Cassandra in Greek myth because I will watch people come back to me after I've said something and tell me, guess what happened? And I say the same thing I told you 2 months ago. Yeah, but yeah, but this, yeah, I said that 2 months ago. Here's the video. Here's me talking to you about it. Maybe, do I need to be a white woman? Do I need to become a white woman? Is that it? Y'all feel more comfortable with these words coming from a white woman? Do I need to get a white woman and I'll just like tell her what to say? Because I notice a lot of white creators mimic my words and you all listen to them like they are the best thing since sliced bread. After Enzo leaves this world, I have nothing left to lose, so I could go full John Wick. Look, I look. Keep them bracelets on, Enzo. Keep them bracelets on. We can't. Don't want to let them bracelets loose. But yeah, but what is it? They don't build relationships. They don't build community and power. They don't. But because I also think it's still part of the playbook we have, because we follow the playbook that the oppressor has given us to fight the oppressor. And all these characteristics like noble and this is how you should fight the oppressor. Y'all, that comes from the book of the oppressor. The oppressor never, that's like you coming in my house and thinking you're gonna beat me in my house. You're not gonna just beat me anywhere in the streets, but you damn sure not gonna beat me in my house. I know where everything is in the house. Everything. I could turn the lights off and beat your ass in the dark, and you could have night vision goggles on in the house. The Paul Aries problem, where you see the golden path, but even your supporters can't see it fully. Yeah, yeah, and it's the idea that I don't know if that's a good way of putting it, pirate. But I survive because I have gangsters in my corner. It's like, how do I say it? Put it like this: if you believe that the state you're in or the state the people you love in is wrong, and you find a way out of it, do you have to understand every vision to follow the path? Because that's what it seems like. And that's what I say. It comes from this book that the oppressor gives you of fighting oppression. This book tells black people they don't need leadership. It tells every marginalized group, oh, you don't need a leader. Leader, they highlight the people that should have never been in leadership in the first place and tell you all their flaws and this. And the ones that don't do that. How many times have you all learned about Shaka Zulu? Shaka Zulu, one of the greatest generals to ever, king also, but wasn't just a king that led from the throne, was one of the greatest tactical and strategic minds in this world. Held off the British initially with just shields and swords, and British had guns. Understood the principle of war so succinctly that he was able to overcome the guns and the horses and all the weapons of the British and take them and fortify his army with them also. So you don't learn about Shaka, but you do learn about failures. You do learn about failures. You learn about every person that happened to be black that failed the black community. What's up for bootleg movie theater time? You Star, are you? Hold on. I know Star didn't just send me a message. I know you didn't just send me a message when I'm live. Yeah, I'm talking about you in the live right now. Shaka took time to understand and respect the enemy, but he also took his people also had enough faith in him that they didn't have to understand every move. 3 minutes. All right, GCPR, you heard it. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and we are going to get out of here on time because the movie I want to watch tonight is a little long, and I'm gonna give some of our new people time to download Twitch. 3 hour log off. Yeah, no, I am not. I am not. I one time I forget to log off for 10 hours, and now everybody wants to turn it against me. I can't. No, I haven't tuned in. I'm in my car. Oh, but you hear me talking about you, Star. Star says she hasn't tuned in, but she's in the car. We're about to. How far? How long till you get home? How long you got till you get home, Star? Where you can turn on the movie. Cause you all know I got other things, a little series I want to show, little series I want to show. It's an episode from The Accused, and y'all might have seen the previews of this character in The Accused, and The Accused is an anthology series, so it's self-contained in one episode, and it's in season two. But season two finale had this woman buying her husband a robot, an android robot. They call them robots, but anything that looks that human to me is an android. But she buys him this android, and she buys it because they're having some intimacy issues because she's upwardly mobile. Always, she's focused on the goal that she wants and everything. So she buys him the robot, and he's like, initially, he like, yeah, I don't want this. Yeah, no, and he wants to send it back. So I'm not telling you anymore. I'm just telling you if you haven't seen the previews, that's from Accused, and I want to show that too. I'll probably show that tomorrow, but no, I mean I don't know, Petra, because yeah, I found the whole thing. I haven't watched the whole thing. I saw the clip and I had to find out what it was from because I said I want to. You sent me a message. Hold on. Yeah, all right, you sent me a message. I gotta play, and you do. I need to play this. If I'm okay. It's 11 o'clock. All right, let's get out of here. Um, First things first. Hey, WGCPR. It is 11 o'clock. I am about to start my live stream on to Twitch where we're gonna have bootleg movie night 3000 with TNathan. I appreciate you. If you don't have a VPN, I'll talk to you Monday. If you do and you want to come over, we'll be on Twitch watching Memento in just a few moments. All right? Peace. Y'all have a nice night. And it's off. I'm clear. I'm clear. It is exactly 11 o'clock. I clocked out on time. Can I get a hand? Can I get a hand? Yes. Yes, I clocked out right on time. All right, now. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Twitch. I'm logging into Twitch. Twitch. All right, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Did you sign out? Yes, I signed out. Yes, right on time. It was a DJ. I could have literally did a handoff to the DJ. I was on time. I could have said now, the DJ. But yeah, I can't get him. I can't get him used to that. Y'all like my? You like you? Can you tell I've been to the barbershop today? Can you tell? Been in the barbershop. Got my nails done. Yeah, yeah. You went to the barbershop. Um, I figured I was gonna go. I was gonna wait and go like next week, but you got to go get you got to go because we don't gossip in the barbershop. Let me tell you. So Petra was live when I was in the barbershop today, and I told Petra, I said I'm going to the barbershop. So I just was like, I scrolled through, I see that she live with Nick, and I was like, and she gonna pull me up. I was like, I'm in the barbershop, and anytime I'm in the barbershop, my barbershop knows that yeah, we're gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about. Yeah, yeah. That's why one of your friends, one of y'all friends, Dora Milaje. Yeah, one of your hey Miss Meadow. Yeah. So Nick was in. Yeah, right. Nick was in there with Petra. And I'm like, y'all call me up. Y'all know I'm in the barbershop. So everything we're talking about now is on barbershop conversation time. Yes, because we in the barbershop. So we had the barbershop rolling, and they were like, yeah, TNathan is here because they know we're gonna talk politics and social justice issues and a little sports. All of that we talked about everything from Trevor Lawrence getting a late hit to tariffs. Yeah, my barbershop. One other thing about my barbershop, they know they never get to say they don't know the issues because we're gonna talk. I go there early just so we can cover the issues, and then I'm gonna talk while I'm in the chair. And your barber has to be good to cut you up while you're in the chair running your mouth and no blood. He didn't cut anything. He didn't cut no blood off me. And I got my see got my little slash back, so we all good. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying to somebody in the Dora Milaje, and I want to take this message back because I'm not welcome in certain people's spaces. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody told me they wasn't going to let me on their panel because I dominate the panel. Yeah. And I basically was like, if you just got a small penis, just say you got a small penis. That was my response. I say, if you got a small penis, just say I got a small penis. Everybody will understand because that's what I heard when they said I wasn't loud on the panel because I would like dominate the panel. All I heard him say was, "Your penis is bigger than mine." So, if I heard incorrectly, if I heard incorrectly, yes, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, somebody needs to get a better translator because that's what I heard. So, and as long as y'all keep entertaining them, yeah, yeah, Robert's back, y'all. All right. Like I said, we will be in Selma, Alabama, March 6th to the 9th. And if you would like to assist us get there, look at my beacon link for the GoFundMe page that is linked. And I figured that, if a one leg man, racist white man can raise $46,000 for a new boat, I guess the Intolerant Left could help me raise $7,500 to go to Selma, Alabama to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the march across the Selma Bridge. I didn't realize how many people didn't know exactly what the march in Selma was actually about. Yeah, it is tied to the 1965 Voting Rights Act, but it was actually a way of protesting the death of Jimmy Lee, who was shot and killed by racist white people trying to help his mother. So yeah, more on that. I will do more video on that. so people can get it. But yeah, I sometimes I'm surprised about how much people don't know about historical events that they commemorate. So yes, please donate. The Beacon link, it is in my Beacon link, and I will make more videos as time progresses, as we get closer. But yeah, any fun fact: Selma isn't just a movie; it's an important place in history. Just Pirate, I am going to literally string you. I told you, Pirate, it is on site. Are you home now? I can stop. I can stop. Um, I can. Y'all home? All right. I'm about to open up Twitch, and you tell me if you get thrown out of Twitch now, and because I'm opening it up, I don't know how Colin the AI was created until recently. Uh, no, I'm through roasting. I'm through roasting you, Star. You home now? Are you home? I'm telling you, anybody know, Penelope knows, Petra knows, anybody, Rain is going to learn because Rain got my number too. If you text me doing a broadcast, Reese had to learn the hard way. I am likely to read your text out while I'm live because you know I'm live. All right, Star is home safely, y'all. We're finna open up. I'm about to open up. Dun dun dun. I'm opening up Twitch stream, and then I'm gonna shut this down. And then, like I said, we're going to watch Memento, and now I don't have to show anything else since Star is there. We don't have to kill any time because I really want to see Memento. And if you like Tenant, I'm really interested in your insight into Memento. Any questions for me before I sign off? For anybody who's not coming over to the Twitch stream, anybody needing time to download Twitch and get over there if you don't have it? Now it's time. I share memes mostly with people. Yeah, you're good. You always get on me when I'm on. Yes, I gotta get on you. Have you heard of Rosa Bar? Okay, Pirate. You know that earns you a 30-second timeout the next time we in live. Yeah, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. All right. What is the velocity of unswallowed?